Okay.
Good afternoon, friends. This is my colleague, senior colleague from US, and he is a very experienced, ham operator, and I'm a new one. So he's telling his experience and guiding me what to do.
Okay, I'm basically going to tell you what not to do. I have a license to operate in the United States. That's the only place I can operate. But when I was in Slovenia, I set up my antenna and my radio, obviously, and I would just listen and monitor just to see how many countries I could record. And I was on it one day, and I had a knock at the door. I went to answer the door, and it's the two guys from the equivalent of the FCC, the people that monitor your frequency usage. And they asked me what the antenna was in my backyard. I said, well, it's a ham radio antenna. And they said, well, people are complaining because you're interfering with their television, telephone, whatever. And I said, yeah, that's simply not true, because I don't communicate with anybody. I only listen. I never, ever keyed up my radio. So they asked to see my license. They asked if I had a license, and I said yes. And I showed them my license, and they seemed to be satisfied with that. I told them there's a guy in very close proximity to me that is running a lot of power, because he was interrupting me from 10 megahertz away from the frequency that he was on. And I said, this guy has to be very close, or more likely than not, he's very close. And they seemed to be okay with that. They left, and I never heard from them again. But the moral of the story is, I could have applied to whatever agency controls ham radio operations here in India, and probably got permission to communicate. I just didn't. To me, it wasn't really something I wanted to go through, but I still set up my equipment and listened, and that's all I wanted to do while I was here. But when I get back home, I've only been a ham operator, a licensed ham operator, for about 3 years. One of the first things I want to do, and one of the first things I would recommend, is join a club. Guys that teach you things, they're called, in the U.S. anyhow, they're called Elmers. They're there to point you in the right direction, to explain how certain things work, because no matter what you read in the manuals, a lot of things just don't make sense. And these guys can help point that out. So yeah, one of the first things I want to do is join a club. And I have a couple of them, just a couple of miles from my house, so it's going to be very beneficial to me.
Thank you, Bob. And I will again ask few questions about the ham. How long you are into this hobby, Bob?
3 years.
3 years. And the different classes are available there in the US. Would you please mention?
Yeah, for a beginner, we have a technician class. You have to pass a test, and then we have a general category, and again, you have to take a test, and the top category that allows you access to all the bands is called an extra.
Okay.
And I don't know anybody myself who's an extra, but I'm sure they're out there. And I'm sure it's not easy to pass the test. You probably pretty much have to be an engineer or something. I don't know. You can go in, and it costs us money to take the test, all three of them. It's about $15 to $25 depending on where you're at. You can go in one day, and if you want to sit there and take the test 10 times and hope to get lucky and pass, you can do that. They'll sit there and take your money all day. So maybe I'll try that one of these days when I want to spend $250, to do 10 tests.
Okay, well, thank you very much, thank you. And here we have the two different grades, general and restricted, and especially the Morse code is coming in the first grade, that is general grade, very tough. I will again ask you regarding your experience and suggestion about the Morse code practicing, because it's very tough over here. The machines, the equipments are not easily available over here. So if you can say something about the Morse code machine and the Morse code practicing, that will be fine. That is my last question to you. I won't bother you anymore. I will catch you in the web later on. So if you can say something about the Morse code.
Okay. I'm studying Morse code right now. I can send with no problem. I send it about 20 words a minute.
Oh.
I don't receive it very well. It could be for a couple of reasons. I'm not familiar enough yet, and it just takes a lot of time, months and months and months of just listening to code. Or it could be because I have a slight loss of hearing. I don't think that helps, but I don't think that's the whole factor, because when I'm listening to Morse on my laptop with my headphones on, I hear just fine. It's just, it hasn't come natural to me yet. So I think the more I listen to it, and the key to learning Morse is to learn it at 20 words a minute, nothing less than that, because they say once you learn anything less than that, the possibility of you gaining any speed is very limited, because you get in your mind this idea of, I need to be able to pick out the letter as it comes in, instead of seeing an image of, for example, a letter J, a dot, a dit, dot, dot, dot. You don't want to have to say J. You want to see dit, da, 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 and know automatically that it's a J. But, I'm going to give myself 6 months after I get set up, and I can, I have a setting on my radio where I don't transmit with any power, but I can practice keying, and I use a paddle key, not a straight key, because that's what I first started off with, and I'm comfortable with it. But yeah, I think learning Morse is a very useful tool, like in a situation of natural disasters. If you need to communicate for people or for your government or whatever, it's much easier to get a message through on Morse than it is voice, because voice is so busy all the time, whereas Morse, you only need a very small portion of the band, and it's usually much clearer.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. I'm really excited to discuss with you on this matter, and I will catch you up in the near future when I get my CallSign.
All right.
Wish you all the best and see you. Thank you. Just have a
All right.
nice friendship with you again, once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.